What's up, guys? Dylon here, and today is day 27 of 100 squats a day for 30 days. So like this video, subscribe, and let's get into it. So I get to put my workout space back together. Finally, show you how easy it is. Pull this Vitruvian out. We're gonna just you can just do this. You can do this one arm. You don't need to be super strong to do it. But I get it there. I'm gonna keep it still facing this way. Normally I have it facing the wall, but for these videos, it's a little bit easier. Let me find the plug. It's on this side. They pick it up. The plug is on the handle side, which is cool. The non-wheel side. Head and activate that. It turns on. Let's give us a little more space here. So, today, I shoo the Leilu out of the room. Go on, Leilu. Go on. Go on, shoot. Shoot. Go on. She's like, I want to stay. Need to have the door closed for this. So, the Vitruvian, pretty easy to get set up. Like, we're doing basically a start to finish right now. Gotta make sure I have all my cables ready. Need my short cables, not my long cables for this. Where are my other ones at? Here we go. All right. Short cables attached to my back squat bar. We're going to be doing some belt squats again today. Right. I like those. Again, they're a little bit easier for the 100 doing the belt squats versus doing the back squats. But the back squats are certainly very good. Very, very good. They're one of my favorites. So, I want to talk about, as I'm getting this set up, make sure it's all set up correctly, but I want to talk about traveling and how it's fun and all, but I'm not actually like the biggest fan of travel. And one of the reasons why is, one, I like my space, but also I've found that when you want to accomplish things, it takes consistent daily effort. Right, consistent effort over time. Let's just make sure this is just this new format. And one thing that travel does is it kind of throws a wrench in your schedule, in your routine, in your space. Now, you can travel and make sure you can prioritize your space, which is pretty cool, right, if you can do that. I think I was watching Carnivore MD. He's talking about his animal-based diet and all that kind of stuff. And so when he travels, he packs his animal-based foods. Right? And that's all well and good. And I think really to get the best results out of your life, out of your stuff, you have to make excuses to make the things happen that you want to have happen, to make you into the version of yourself that you want to be, versus making excuses for you to slack off, for you to be lazy, for you to delay. Now, and you can take that as serious as you want for that. Find my squats from my belt. There we go. But what I find is for the average person, it's kind of tough to do. And you don't need to be all wild with, your plans for travel or for when you have a guest. That's basically like what happened with me is, my brother in town, it was great seeing him and great having him in town, but I have a small space, which is one of the reasons why I have the Vitruvian. Because I have that small space, he was sleeping in my office, right? Because I don't have a dedicated guest bedroom. And this is where my Vitruvian's at. I didn't really have another place to put it. We were out snowboarding and stuff like that, so I didn't really need to be lifting the weights, but I did feel like I was off my routine. I was off my grind. Like I couldn't create and produce the videos and stuff that I would like to do. I still made them, but it wasn't quite to the level that I wanted, right? Or it could have been had I been in my own space. And so with travel, right, it takes you out of that. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy to put you back in the zone, to keep you in the zone. And so while I do like it, and maybe you might disagree, maybe it doesn't do the same for you, but while I do like it, I do think it can detract when you're really trying to accomplish things, when you're doing a challenge, when you are really trying to get stuff done. If you're constantly traveling, if you don't have a space that's set up for you to stay consistent for a good period of time, you're more likely to fall off. And one of the things I learned when I was doing the 75 hard is one is one, like you gotta make excuses to be the person that you want to be, but two, what that entails is you gotta say no. You gotta say no to doing things that you would normally do because they become more of a distraction or a liability, or they increase the risk that you fall off your routine, that you fall back into patterns of behaviors that you're trying to get out of. And so when you think about these challenges and doing them, Vitruvian or not, squats or not, or pull-ups or not, whatever the challenge is, one of those things you're going to have to come to terms with is you're going to have to say no to things that you would normally like to do, because at that point in time in your life, they don't fit with the lifestyle and the person that you're trying to be. Okay? If you're trying to quit drinking, which I've gone almost a year. May 13th is my full year. It was a challenge I gave myself. If you're trying to quit drinking, right, you might find that you need to change your activities and hobbies that you use to spend your time, your free time. So it might include you don't go out to the bars and the restaurants quite as much. Okay? So instead of looking at that as a loss, just look at it as a new way, a new phase in your life, a new way you can live and learn things about yourself, versus, oh man, I could never do that because I have to do this thing that, like, is keeping me from doing that, right? And so when it comes to fitness and your weight, before I start doing these squats, when it comes to fitness and your weight, a lot of people make the excuse of, and I've thought about this example, they draw the line in the sand about soda, right? And it could be, soda could be anything, right? But they're like, I'll do it, but I will never give up soda, right? I'll never stop drinking soda. And to me, that's really wild. That is the line in the sand. It's like, yeah, I want to be happy, I want to be healthy, but if it means giving up soda, I'd rather be unhappy and unhealthy. That's just like a thing I'll never give up. And so what people do is they create these like artificial barriers or blocks in their mind about what things they will or will not. And then normally these things that they've like tied to their identity in some way, right? For whatever reason, like drinking soda, and they can't fathom their life without it. Okay? And they'd rather live their life with this thing that generally makes their life worse. Okay, you can have a soda from time to time, but if you drink it all the time, it's probably not good for you. But they'd rather like keep the thing in their life that it's not really helping them be the best version of themselves, rather than instead of giving it up and replacing it with something better, healthier, something that brings out their best self. And when you're doing these challenges, you have to come to terms with that. And I think so many people don't do that, and they're stuck living this like half full life because they're holding on to these things that they're passionate about, that they love, that they think is like part of their identity, but those things are taking from them versus giving to them. And we all have these in various shapes or forms and all that kind of stuff. No one's immune from having these, holding on to things. But I think the difference between people that are successful in whatever they do is they're able to identify, versus the ones that aren't, or versus the ones that are stagnant or whatnot. They're able to identify what these things are, and they are able to let them go. Right? They're able to. And there's religion or philosophies based on this, but like they're able to just let them go, right, and accept that they don't have like this like need that they feed to like hold on to these things that aren't serving them. And so if you're watching this video, just think of the things in your life that you're doing that you feel that you need to have, but really you probably don't, right? The things that aren't really serving you on the path that you want to be on. And maybe they're serving you on their current path, but that may not be a path that you want to be on long term. Right? That might be a path that you want to change, because if you project out where it's going and where you're going on that path, it might not be a place that you want to go. It might be okay right now, but as you continue down that path, it might be somewhere you don't want to go. That's it for that chatter, those thoughts. Just wanted to reflect and share that with you. We're on day 27. We're going to be doing some belt squats here. Back on the Vitruvian, I've been letting my legs recover, doing the body weight squats. Not using the Vitruvian because I've been riding snowboards, and that burns the quads still. But we're going to get back on the weights to finish off this challenge. And then, next month, I'm really going to be focusing a lot on my upper body and getting that in shape. So we're going to start this off. We're going to do 75 pounds per side, so 150, 425 squats. I don't have my little, heel lifts on here, but we'll be all right. So let's do these calibration reps, and let's get this going. All right, 25 reps. I'm gonna do probably my 25, 15, 10, 10, 15, 25. Just going up in weight some. That's an easy one to do. It works pretty well. But those are reps. Glad to be back on the Vitruvian. Have a few more days, 3 more days to be exact. I think one goal that I wanted to hit that I'm not going to get this time is the 100 squats in a row with my body weight, right? 200 pounds. I think I'm a little bit heavier than that right now, but that's going to be cutting season. So that's something that I'm probably not going to be able to do. Just the toll on the legs, that doing this every single day, I think with more recovery time, it's a goal I still want to hit, and I'll share it with you when I do hit that. But I think it's going to take more rest and recovery to get my muscles and body able to do that. And then, of course, right, one of my goals after this challenge is really get my cardio going and really get my upper body back in shape and my cardio, because it's mountain bike season and got to get in shape for summer. So anyways, that's it for day 27. I'll catch you on day 28. Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.